With Mick Foley urging promotions to hire two former WWE stars and Jungle Boy revealing he's in a relationship with Anna Jay, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching part 2 of the Wrestling Report for June 28th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Comedian and podcaster Joe Rogan recently gave his thoughts on the A&E WWE documentaries, writing, "These are really well done. Maybe I'm really high, but I think I now am beginning to truly understand pro wrestling." The Rock would respond, "At one time it was the best job in the world. One day we'll get drunk or high and talk about it. Or talk about it first, then get f***ed up." On After the Bell, former NXT champion Adam Cole touched on the perception of the black and gold brand being for developmental talent. "It bothers me a lot to some extent though. I always try to be a glass half full guy in a lot of ways. Of course there's an aspect to NXT or the Performance Center where of course there is developmental. There are people who get hired with wrestling experience, with no wrestling experience, and it's the process of hopefully getting to that point where they end up on NXT TV. But to say the roster of the guys who are on NXT every single week, as far as developmental goes, I really do believe that we are on the same level as the guys on Raw and the guys on SmackDown. The process of developmental though is something that happens all the time. I've been wrestling for over 13 years and I'm constantly developing. I don't ever want to get out of developmental. It's so cool for me to be around guys like Shawn Michaels, Triple H, or Matt Bloom, whom they themselves are open to admitting that they're still learning. If those guys are open about learning, we definitely better be open to it. I've always kept the mentality. I've always kept that thought process. If I'm not getting better every single year, every single match, then I have to get out of it. I'm proudly developing in that sense." In a tidbit of news, former WWE correspondent Charly Arnold is now with ESPN as she has blown up social media over a tweet mentioning she had a boyfriend. Of course, many responded by trolling or being upset at Charly no longer being on the dating market.
Randy Orton, one more shot here as Samir Singh.
After being released, the Singh brothers have taken to Twitter to let promotions know they will be available for booking in under 90 days as Mick Foley replied, "If you are a promoter, you need Bollywood boys on your show. I'm sorry to learn they'd been let go, but Gurv and Harv are going to make every show they're on anywhere in the world a better show for having them. Wishing both of you the very best." The Bollywood boys would thank Mick for his comments as Foley responded, "You guys were awesome, worked your butts off, and we're always looking to make everyone you worked with shine a little brighter. And those bums." Earlier this month, many were let go from WWE, such as Buddy Murphy. In his time away, Murphy has gone through a body transformation, showing off his physique on Instagram and writing, "Sometimes we gotta look in the mirror and evaluate. I'm evaluating, and the chip on my shoulder is getting bigger. Watch out, I'm the hungriest wolf." While he had a memorable run in WWE, we hope he can achieve more when he makes his return to wrestling.
Eliminate that problem. That's exactly what Orton is doing to the Singh brothers. He's going to eliminate both of them, Samir and Sunil. Oh my God! Turned inside out by Orton.
Going back to the Singh brothers, they replied to a post which showed off a gif of Samir taking the notorious table bump from Randy Orton, saying, "This was all about winning and earning Randy Orton's respect. We wanted to shine in all the small moments we had, make them look like $1 million and have people talking." Orton would reply, "Respect was earned long before those tables came into play. Something tells me I'll see you guys down the road. Until then, show everyone what you guys can do." With WWE returning to live touring, they'll be leaving the ThunderDome as WrestleVotes reported. Looks like WWE's final live show inside the ThunderDome will be the Friday, July 9th edition of SmackDown. The July 12th episode of Raw will be the final ThunderDome show, however, will be taped the week prior. While Ryback is fighting with WWE over his name and likeness, he is also in a war with Twitter apparently shadow banning him, with him recently saying, "Hey Twitter support, verified, Jack, can you help me understand how I don't meet your criteria to be verified when I'm everywhere else? I really want to make sure I'm doing all I can and would appreciate your help. I've seen people with hundreds of followers get the check mark." Even showed off a photo which had the name Ryback on his driver's license, as the big guy continues his journey to become verified. Jungle Boy had an impressive showing challenging for the AEW World title against Kenny Omega. Despite him coming up short, fans consider him a winner, after he dropped a photo on Twitter of him kissing Anna Jay, who is currently out of action with a shoulder injury, confirming their relationship. After her hiring, Kenice Mobley admitted that despite getting the job to be a writer for WWE, she knew nothing about wrestling. Ringside News would then report that WWE was looking to hire more comedy writers, to the chagrin of fans. With this, Mobley would be let go, as WWE fans have continued to heckle her online. With her writing every morning for the last 5 days, I've been waking up to messages like this from people I've never met. She attached an email she received where a fan called her a dumb bitch, as we hope the hate can die down now that she is no longer with WWE. And this was part 2 of your wrestling news for today. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.